Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Taylor, and on this channel I like to share tips and tricks on taking your family to Disney World, and maybe I can make the process just a little bit easier and more fun. So if that is something that you're interested in, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Today we are going to be talking about what rides you should go for first when you are visiting Disney World. As many of you know, Genie Plus can be a little bit confusing, and I just kind of wanted to talk about what we like to do, what we have found that really works for our family, and when there's a lot of crowds, what rides you need to go for first when purchasing and booking your rides in the parks. Okay, so let's start with Magic Kingdom. As many of you know, Tron is the newest ride, and that is the most popular ride right now in Magic Kingdom. You can either do virtual queue, or you can purchase it as an individual lightning lane or a fancy ride. So I always go for that one first. Me personally, I would rather purchase it. You don't wait in line as long as if you purchase it as opposed to doing a virtual queue. You can do either one. If you want to ride it twice, I would do virtual queue and pay for it. The only thing with the virtual queue is you may have to wait in line a little bit longer than if you were to just flat out buy the ride. So make sure you go for Tron first, because that is probably the most popular ride right now in all of Disney World. The second thing that you're gonna want to go for is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Now, if you purchase Genie Plus, this is not included in the Genie Plus price. You can pay to ride it individually, or you can do the standby line. So it's a very popular ride. A lot of people want to go for that one when they rope drop. And that is my suggestion. If you don't want to pay to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, I would get to the park probably 30 minutes before early entry, just to make sure you're there on time, and head straight for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. As many of you know, this ride goes really fast if you want to purchase it, and the wait times go upwards of 2 hours, especially if the park is really crowded. So I always say, if you really want to ride that one, you might want to rope drop it, or just go ahead and pay to ride it, because it's very, very popular. So those are my two rides that I would say go for first at Magic Kingdom. Okay, at Hollywood Studios, the very first thing you're going to want to try to get if you purchase Genie Plus is going to be Slinky Dog Dash. That one goes like that within a matter of minutes, especially when it's a busy day at the park. That one always goes first. It will even go before Rise of the Resistance. So if you have little ones and this is a top priority for you and your family, at 7 a.m. make sure that you are going for Slinky Dog Dash. This one, like I said, is super popular. Everybody loves this ride, so it goes really quickly. So try to get that. If you can't get it as early as you wanted to, because a lot of times if a time pops up, let's say 9:30 a.m. pops up for Slinky Dog, by the time you click on it and you go and it goes through all of this stuff on your phone, by the time it pulls up, your return time may not be till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So if that's going to be too late for you, you can always rope drop this ride. We have done that before too. And when we rope dropped it, I think we only ended up waiting like 30 minutes. So if you don't get a fast return time or an early return time, you can rope drop this ride. And it is so much fun. All the little kids love it. All the adults love it. So I would go for Slinky Dog first. After Slinky Dog, I would go for Rise of the Resistance. Now, this is not going to be included in your Genie Plus pricing when you go to purchase it. This is an individual lightning lane because it is considered a fancy ride. So you'll have to purchase this if you want to skip the long lines, or you can rope drop this one too. I always tell my clients it just kind of depends on what your family is more into or what they want to ride, depending on what you're going to want to rope drop. Now, Slinky Dog, like I said, it is included in the Genie Plus pricing, but Rise of the Resistance is not. So you can either rope drop that, head straight there first thing in the morning. We've done this too, and we only waited maybe 20 minutes because we got there really early. And another little tip I will tell you is Hollywood Studios is really good about letting you in even more than 30 minutes before the park opens if you are staying on property. A lot of times they are known to let you in an hour before. So if you can get up and get going really early, and it's your Hollywood Studios day, try to be there an hour before the park actually opens, because a lot of times they'll let you in and you can head straight to that ride. Now, it depends on the cast members most of the time if they go ahead and let you start riding the ride. but most of them will let you go ahead and get in the queue, and a lot of times they will open the ride a little bit early. So if the earlier you can get there, the closer to the front of the line you're going to be, and this is going to save you a lot of time and headache as the day goes on. You won't have to wait in those long lines for these really popular rides. So either, depending on if you have little ones who are really into Toy Story, you're going to want to go Rope Drop, Slinky Dog Dash first, or if you have older kids or children that are really interested in Star Wars, or any adult, if it's an adult's trip and you're interested in Star Wars and not Toy Story, you're going to want to do Rise of the Resistance first, because these longs get really, really long throughout the day. And then, like I said too, if you are doing Genie Plus, I would go for Slinky Dog Dash first, because that one goes like that. So, Hollywood Studios, go for Slinky Dog Dash or Rise of the Resistance. Okay, so I have my Disney Experience app pulled up, and I wanted to look at the times and just kind of give you an idea. It is almost 1:30 our time, so it would be 2:30 at Disney World right now, and that is a peak time, so I just kind of wanted to see what the waits are. And spring break has started, so let's look and see. I want to see how long Slinky Dog Dash is. Right now, around 2:30. So right now at 2:30, it is 110 minutes, and there are no Genie Plus lightning lanes offered, so you can't purchase to ride this. So I'm going to show you guys real quick if it'll focus. But Slinky Dog Dash is 110 minutes. Okay, let's check Rise of the Resistance. Now, it's not too bad. This is really surprising to me. It's only at a 60-minute wait, so that's really good, but you cannot purchase it anymore. So I'll just tell you a few times right now. Toy Story Mania, that's another really popular one. It's at 70 minutes. And then another one that's really popular is Smuggler's Run, and that's 85 minutes. Mickey and Minnie's is temporarily closed. But so those are pretty high wait times. I'm really surprised that Rise of the Resistance is only at 60 minutes. That's really not that bad. But as you can see, as the day goes on, these lines get really long. So if you can rope drop or try to get them at 7 a.m. on your Genie Plus, that is the way to go. Okay, so now let's look at Magic Kingdom times real quick. So, like I said, you need to go for Tron first, and there's no standby line. So with this one, you're either going to have to pay to ride it, or you're going to have to join the virtual queue at 7. If you don't get in the queue at 7, they do offer another time at 1 o'clock. I forgot to mention that too. So you have 2 chances to get to ride this ride if you want to do the virtual queue. It's at 7 and 1 o'clock. Alright, and then the other ride I said go for was Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So I'm going to start with that one and see how long the wait is right now. And this would be 2:30 in the afternoon at Disney World. So Seven Dwarfs Mine Train right now is at 85 minutes, and you cannot purchase to ride it anymore. So like I said, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is not included in the Genie Plus pricing, so you have to buy this individually because it's a fancy ride. And so it's gone. You can't buy it. Most of the time they sell out pretty soon in the morning, and you can't get another one if you want to buy it. But the standby line is 85 minutes. Let's check and see some other ones that are really popular. Jungle Cruise is 70 minutes. You can book another one. Right now it's showing me 10:25 p.m. So it is really late. But see, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and half of these rides are gone, or they're later or late return times. Haunted Mansion's at 80 minutes. That's super long. Let me find one more. Let's check Peter Pan, because that is a very popular ride too. It goes really, really fast, and it has super long waits. Let me check in. It's at 70 minutes. So these ride times are really long. So make sure you go for these first, the 2 that I said. And Peter Pan is very popular too. I don't want to confuse anybody because I'm just doing 2 rides per park. But Peter Pan, I'll give you a third one. That one is very, very popular, and it goes very fast too. So if you have little ones who are really going to enjoy this ride, you may want to go for it first too. If they don't want to do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or they're not tall enough to do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Tron, then you're going to want to go for Peter Pan. Okay, now let's talk about Epcot, which is one of my favorite parks because it has my absolutely favorite ride of all times, which is Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is going to be one that you're going to want to go for first. It is not included in the Genie Plus pricing, so you either have to purchase this to ride it, or you have to join the virtual queue at 7 or at 1 o'clock. I always do both of these because I want to ride it as many times as I can. So I will join the virtual queue at 7, and I'll also pay to ride this ride. I absolutely love this ride. It's amazing. If you love roller coasters, you will love Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's the first one that I would go for. The second ride that I would go for is Frozen Ever After. This is such a fun ride, and it gets really high wait times too throughout the day. So and it is included in Genie Plus. You don't have to pay extra to ride this one. You used to, but now they have taken that away, so it is included. So if you can get this one booked first, I would go for it too, especially if you have littles who don't love roller coasters. This one is perfect. And like I said, it gets really long waits throughout the day. Also, this is a really good one to rope drop. I like to rope drop this one, and I like to rope drop Remy's Ratatouille. That is a really fun ride, but my top two would probably be to go for first are for sure Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the second one be Frozen Ever After. But Remy's Ratatouille gets really high wait times too, and it goes super fast too. So I'm going to give you 3 on that one because I can't really pick. But those are 2 really good ones to rope drop if you can't get quick return times, or if you don't want to buy Genie Plus. Those are going to be really good for you to rope drop to get those early and not have to wait in really long lines. So let's look at some ride times right now for Epcot. Let's look at Remy's first, and I'm just going to see. It is still, I was a little bit early. It's 2:30 exactly right now at Disney World. Okay, Remy's is at 85 minutes, and there's no lightning lanes left. So that's really long. That's kind of what I was expecting. Let's look at Frozen. Frozen Ever After is 110 minutes. So it goes really fast, like I said, and it has super high wait times. Okay, let me give you one more. Soarin' is at 50 minutes. There is a lightning lane available for that one at 4:30, so that's not too bad. That would be a good one to grab if it was time for you to book your next lightning lane. And then Test Track is at 95 minutes. That's really long too, and there's no lightning lanes left. So I personally would always purchase Genie Plus just because I do not want to wait in long lines. So like you can tell from those times at Epcot too, there's really high wait times at Epcot for those popular rides, and a lot of the lightning lanes are gone, and it's mid-afternoon. So for Epcot, I would go for Guardians of the Galaxy first, and then Frozen Ever After or Remy's Ratatouille, or you could rope drop Frozen Ever After and Remy's Ratatouille. Okay guys, so the last park we're going to talk about is Animal Kingdom, and the 2 rides that I would go for first here are Avatar Flight of Passage and Kilimanjaro Safaris. So let's start with Avatar Flight of Passage. This gets super long waits. This used to be one of the most popular rides in all of Disney World, but now that we have Guardians and Tron, it's kind of lost some of its newness, but this is a very, very popular ride, and I would go for it first. It is not included in your Genie Plus price when you purchase Genie Plus, so you have to buy this individually because it's a fancy ride too. So I would either purchase it or rope drop this one. It gets super long waits throughout the day, so if you get there early, just head straight for Avatar Flight of Passage. This is an amazing ride. It is my second favorite. Guardians is my first, and Avatar Flight of Passage is my second. It is so amazing. I cannot even describe to you the feeling that you get when you are on this ride. It is just, it takes your breath away. It's so beautiful. I just absolutely love it. So make sure you ride this ride. It's amazing. So I would go for it first, and then the second one I would go for is Kilimanjaro Safaris. But I'm going to give you a tip. You want to do this ride very first thing in the morning. So if you don't care to wait for Avatar Flight of Passage for just a little bit, I would head straight to Kilimanjaro Safaris as soon as the ride opens because the animals are so active in the morning. You can see so many of them. They're up and they're hungry and they're active during the morning. Towards the end of the day, they're tired, and a lot of times they're laying around and you don't get to see them as much. And knock on wood, we have seen the lion every single time that we have went because we go in the morning. And some of my clients are like, we've never seen the lion, and they've been several times. And I really think the key to seeing some of those animals are going first thing in the morning when they're up and active and they're ready to eat and they're ready to play and do stuff. And I'm telling you guys, you won't regret it if you go here first, because you'll see so many of the animals. They're not sleeping, they're up and they're doing stuff, and it's just an amazing experience. So I would go here first too. This is included in your Genie Plus pricing, so you can book a lightning lane for it, or you can rope drop it. Most of the time we just rope drop it, and we're never disappointed. So those are the top 2 rides I would go for at Animal Kingdom: Avatar Flight of Passage and Kilimanjaro Safaris. All right, guys, I hope this helped. I know Genie Plus can be confusing, and when you're thinking, what do I even go for first? What rides do I go for? What are the most popular rides? These are them. I'm going to go over them one more time really quickly before I sign off. So Magic Kingdom, you're going to want to go for Tron, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and then the third one I would suggest is Peter Pan. All right, for Hollywood Studios, you're going to want to do Slinky Dog Dash and Rise of the Resistance. And then Epcot, you're going to want to do Guardians of the Galaxy, Frozen Ever After, or Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. I know some of these I'm giving you 3. And then Animal Kingdom, you're going to want to go for Avatar Flight of Passage and Kilimanjaro Safaris. So I hope this helped you guys out. If you have a trip coming up, maybe this is going to help your planning process just a little bit. I know it can be stressful when you're there, or if you haven't been there yet and you're learning all about all the stuff from Disney, Genie Plus, lightning lanes, all this stuff, virtual queue. It can be very confusing. So if I can make the process just a little bit easier, I really want to help you guys do that. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.